Hi guys, welcome to Engelgeist. This is Dan, and this is my channel. Thank you so very much for tuning in. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. And for those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very, very much for your support. I do have a Patreon page. If you'd like a monthly subscription, you can go over there and check it out under Engelgeist and choose to support there. Or you can book a private reading with me via my Facebook business page. If you're watching me via YouTube, please feel free to go over and like my business page, and vice versa. If you happen to see this on Facebook and you have a YouTube account, please feel free to go over and subscribe on YouTube. Alright, so this is the daily forecast for the collective, for the highest good. Ideally, it's for the highest good. If it doesn't fit with your life, that's completely okay. If it's, maybe not making sense, that doesn't mean anything's wrong. It just might mean that you might be working on something different at this time. It is being created for the date of Saturday, October 17th, but it is a timeless message in the sense that if it finds you on a different day, that might mean that the message might be in line with you at that time versus the date that it was actually created for. Does that make sense? So, you don't have to turn it off if it's not October 17th. You can still utilize and work with the reading within your life, find where it fits, sort of thing. If you make any decisions in your personal life regarding this reading, after having watched this reading, that is your responsibility. And let's get into the cards and see what we've got going on. Okay. So we have Lantern. Yesterday was Teacup. We also have that rabbit light coming in. That rabbit card. I was thinking of the light from Lantern. The rabbit card is underneath this. We need to remember that too. Lantern to me, and I will say this, when I just pulled it from the deck, it came out inverted, which this deck doesn't necessarily have inversion meanings, but for some of you, if you're feeling like you're having a hard time finding your light or seeing your light, I want to acknowledge that for you. I want to say hello to you. I want you to understand that your light is still there. I am going to read this card as if it were upright, but I do think that there's significance because I just checked the deck and it appears as though most of the cards are upright. I don't know why Lantern is upside down. I'm just looking at where the cut deck is and they're all the opposite directions. So I think there was a point to that. That some of us might be searching for our light or trying to find our truth. We saw that light yesterday. I'm going to reference yesterday's reading in that fear card from the Queen of the Moon Oracle, right? There was those birds that were pulling her in different directions, and the card was labeled fear. There was that light in the center of her solar plexus, and it kind of taps me into this light of this lantern. Some of us might be having a hard time accessing this light or really living in this light of who we are, maybe from spirit or from a deeper place. That was the inversion, or this card coming out upside down. For those of you that can access this light or have the freedom to do so, the upright meaning for this would be to be that shining light, to allow your individuality, your truth, and not just like your verbal truth or your mental truth. I'm talking about like the truth of who you are, right? The light of who you are, the light of your spirit, the light of your soul, allowing that to shine and to not only light your own path through your life, but maybe help to illuminate the path for others, right? Sometimes when we allow ourselves to shine, there's that great quote that I love about where it says, when we allow ourselves to shine, we actually liberate others to do so. And that's kind of what I think about with this Lantern card, right? For those of you that might be struggling to find that light, that's okay. Keep looking, in the sense that the light is there, right? That's the observancy, or the sort of tentative nature that I felt with Rabbit, was that we were, he's maybe like watching looking before he leaps in a way, right? And so, for those of you that might not feel quite ready or clear, maybe you're feeling like you're not seeing the full picture, whatever it might be that's sort of blocking this or bringing in that inversion of this card, don't worry, I think that will pass. Remember also, Mercury has gone retrograde on the 13th, so that's going to add a little wonk energy. There's a lot of really strange things going on in the planets throughout this month. One is also we have a new moon tonight in Libra. When you guys watch this, I think it will be the night before actually. So it's tonight, the day that I'm filming this. But that new moon energy also is about growing and building things. So working towards a goal. If that goal is to find the truth of this light that is within us, then seek it. Continue to seek it. Don't let what's the, like, how do I want to say this? Like, don't let the murkiness of maybe the retrograde energies at work stop you from finding your truth or your shine. Does that make sense? What else do I want to say? That fear card from yesterday and the fragility of the teacup, it would make sense why this lantern would come out upside down, or why we would want to be seeking that light from within to kind of combat any sort of anxiety, any sort of fear, any sort of self-doubt that we might be experiencing, any sort of outside of opinions that we might be having to volley or deal with or contend with and kind of balance out. This lantern, though, I will say this, the light within each and every one of us is very bright and it's powerful. And when it casts its light onto something, you know, there's no room for shadow, there's no room for doubt, there's no room for like second guessing. So in seeking this light, those of you that have it or are aware of it, shine it, babies. Like just shine, shine, shine and light your way, and thus, you know, also being an example for others to light their own way, right? For themselves. For those of you that are seeking or struggling to maybe find it, keep working at it, you will. That's the sort of the feeling that I get from the clarity of this card. It's a very simple, easy card, which means to me that it is findable, it is there, it is accessible to you. Don't give up hope, so to speak. Now let's look at what the Queen of the Moon Oracle has to say. So we have Egg Moon, which is trust, and this is on 32. Right? Which to me, 3 and 2 is well, not to me, like I'm the only mathematician in the world. Numerologically, 3 and 2 boils down to a 5. 5 is always about change, right? Sort of inevitable change. Trust in that change, right? Trust in the opportunity for the changes to take place. What I love about this is we have this clear egg, and there's this woman, I believe, is she sleeping in there? She's sort of sleeping in there. I don't know how well you guys can see it because it's kind of dark in here. But I love that there's this beautiful idea of maybe we're growing, maybe we're changing, maybe this light that emanates from the lantern is showing us new sides of ourselves, right? And those things we need to trust, and we need them allow them to shift and change into something new. Eggs to me always represent sort of fertility, new chapters, rebirth, being born again, or a new path opening up, a new aspect of self or an awareness of self coming up. I've never even heard of the egg moon, so it'll be interesting to read what the story is with it. Sorry that the dog is snoring so loud. But to me, it feels like there's room for new opportunity. And again, we have that rabbit, which is also a sign of fertility underneath this at the end of the week forecast. So how do I want to say this? Like right now, I kind of get a feeling going into next week that the opportunities are very fertile for us in the sense of what we, you know, you reap what you sow kind of thing. What we focus on and what we give attention to is kind of what we will continue to sort of receive. So keeping that in mind, I like this egg moon in the sense that we have the new moon, right? Which to me also newness is like birth and egg. They kind of go together, right? So we're starting a new cycle with the new moon too. So this egg moon is sort of perfectly timed within that sort of change. We need to trust that change and trust that light that is within us, right? That truth that guides us. And allow it to guide you through this experience, whatever you might be feeling, whatever sort of stuff may be going on for you, right? Okay, that inverted lantern for some of you, I'm not so sure that inverted lantern isn't just for me. I kind of feel a bit like an inverted lantern. I don't want to get emotional, but just keep searching. If there's those of you that feel a little bit like your light is dimming, or you can't find it, or you're having a hard time keeping it clean and clear, it's out there for you. I want you to understand that. The grounding stone is on obsidian, which is very, it sort of wards off negativity. It's a very strong, grounded stone. The word is enjoy. Now, our beginning of the week word was happiness, right? Finding the joy in the changes, right? In this egg moon card. Remember to enjoy ourselves as we move our way through changes into new phases, into new growths, into maybe feeling slightly vulnerable as our light shines from this lantern that is within us, right? As our truth shines from within us, standing true in that can sometimes be a very vulnerable feeling. But remembering to take time to enjoy it, to be grateful, to be thankful for the changes and the opportunities to stand in our truth, right? When we ground in that, that empowers us and it makes it stronger, it makes it brighter, it makes it all the more real and all the more sort of ready for birth or harvest, and so to speak, with that idea of, you reap what you sow kind of thing with this egg moon. So let me read these to you really quick. So for Lantern, God, he's snoring so loudly. Lantern is guidance, instinct, and trust. And there's the word trust in the egg moon. So you guys trust this process that's going on for you right now. Whatever each and every one of you is going through, definitely trust. And remember, I'm going to just reread Rabbit because something inspires me to do so. Rabbit is waiting, making leaps, and adventure. And remember, that's underneath all of this. So this guidance, this instinct, and this trust that's within Lantern is whatever sort of we feel compelled to do to get us towards our happiness. Make sure we're enjoying it, even if it feels risky, even if it feels, a little scary. Trust that and keep moving forward. Now, we've got 32, which is the egg moon. I've never even heard of an egg moon. I'm learning something new today. Egg moon, trust. Trust yourself. Develop self-trust and joy will follow. You can rely on your own capabilities. Begin to plan carefully for the future. It is the beginning, and I trust myself in all things. Apart from the trust we might develop spiritually with our higher power, self-trust is the basis of all other trust. Self-trust is a surety that we can rely upon ourselves, that our decisions are valid, that we ourselves matter, that knowing ourselves combined with trusting ourselves leads to better, more informed decisions about all aspects of our life, including career and relationships. Self-trust is far more than a flashy show of confidence. It is deeper and farther reaching than that. It is security at the very core, that no matter what, our wisdom matters and it is best. It allows for flow and for faith in oneself and the way you do things, moving and choosing in the world. Self-trust is a full acceptance of self. As accepting oneself becomes easier, thus self-trust will begin to shine. Whoa, interesting, like the lantern, guys. This gives great momentum to anything we choose to tackle or do. Our ancestors saw spring, the great thawing, as a new beginning. They would walk the marshes and plains and find newly laid eggs. More than just a symbol of fertility and new hope, the eggs meant that the worst of the cold was over and that new life really was here. The egg moon was a time of celebration and rejoicing. Companion stone or metal is iron. And iron is a very lovely, strong metal, right? So I really like that. That is your forecast for the day, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit the subscribe button if you liked it, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the new weekly. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you all. I hope that you're able to find your light and trust it. Have a great day and take care. Bye-bye.